All right.
Hello.
Hello, Daphne, Ibrahim, and Imran. No, Imran and Musa.
Hello.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Very good. Good to see you again. So guys, you are also having online class. Definitely. Do you go to school?
No, I didn't. I am having online classes.
So from morning till evening, you're at home. And when will you actually go to school? I mean, well, when will schools open again?
They said it would at least take a month or two. They didn't actually give us like a specific date.
Oh, all right, good. Here, all schools reopen again today. Actually, it was open in August, but after that they closed for 2 weeks. And for me, I have been teaching online since March. Today again, actually the second time, I taught my students in the classroom, and it was so exciting, of course, because I missed a lot for 8 months teaching online every time. Good, and I hope also your schools will reopen soon. Okay, Daphne, Imran, Musa. Imran, I think, is somewhere else today again. That's why only we can see his cats. And Musa, Daphne, last time we were talking about expansion and factorization of algebraic expressions, and we were solving word problems, and a few questions left, and let's finish them. And after that, we will start chapter 4 today if we have time. And after that, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we can have discussion time. If you have any questions related to your assignment, homework, or anything else, I'll try to answer your questions. If you have no questions, then we will continue. And today we will start chapter 4. Okay? Good.
Yes.
So these are the things that we did last time. Expansion of algebraic expressions, perfect squares, and the blah, blah, blah. We were doing this last one, problem solving involving quadratic equations. Okay, these are the things we did, and we stopped here. Okay, how many questions? I think we had 14 questions, as I remember. And after that, I will finish. And the other question, I mean, the rest of the questions, it will be your homework. You will practice. So let's continue then. Okay, here, the difference between two numbers is 3. Did we do this question last time, Daphne?
I'm not sure.
Okay, Daphne, let's start with you. The difference between two numbers is 3. How would you write these two numbers? As a first step, we should write the given numbers, right? Let's say the first number is x. I don't know. Now, what will be the next number?
X plus 3.
X plus 3.
Or minus.
Yeah, actually, also it can be minus, but we better put minus here. If the square of the smaller number is equal to 4 times the larger number. So it says if the square of the smaller number. And which one is a smaller number? This one is a smaller number, right? So the square of the smaller number, x squared, is equal to, so is equal to 4 times the larger number. The larger number is x plus 3. And find the numbers.
Let's be the opposite. Like, I think it's 4x square equals to x squared plus 9.
Why? It says if the square of the smaller number, which one is the smaller? X, right? Square of the small number is x squared, is equal to, this one is equal to 4 times the larger number,
Okay.
So from here, as you see here, if you just do some manipulation and take everything to the left-hand side, here we have minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. Quadratic equation, right? It's already in standard form, and the coefficient of x squared is 1. So I'll just try again that method. Can we just find two numbers whose product is -12 and the unit sum is -6? And 12, these are small numbers. What are those numbers? -6 and 2, right? As you see here, -6 and 2, the unit sum is -4, and the unit product is 12. So I can factorize it as x minus 6 and x plus 2. That's equal to 0. From here, x1 equals 6, or let me just write only x equals 6, or x equals -2. So find the larger number. Actually, about the numbers, we don't know if ... the first number is 6, second number will be 9. That's the first solution. If the first number is -2, -2 plus 3, that will be 1. So we have two answers. Either those numbers are 6 and 9, or -2 and 1. Okay, but if you just show only one answer, it will not be a complete solution. So you have to show all the possible answers here. All right, let's continue. Musa, can you read the question?
The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters longer than its width, and its area is 66 centimeters square. Find the perimeter of the rectangle.
Okay. Now what is given here? It says that the length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters longer than its width. So here we are talking about a rectangle. To solve this kind of equation, geometry equations, if possible, we have to draw a picture. It helps us to visualize this problem. And do we know its width? We don't know. Let's say its width is W and the length is L. But here it says that the length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters longer than its width. So width must be W plus 5. And also its area is 66. So that is area, which is equal to W times W plus 5. That's equal to 66 centimeters squared. What is the question here? The question is we have to find the perimeter of this rectangle. And of course, to find the perimeter, we should know the length and also we should know the width, right? So first, to answer this question, using this equation, we can find the value of W. And if we know W, we can get the value of length. And after that, we can answer the question. So let's just expand the left-hand side. Here we have W squared plus 5W. Take 66 to the left-hand side. Minus 66 is equal to 0. Musa, can you tell me two numbers whose product is -66 and the unit sum is 5?
11 and 6. No.
Yeah, that's correct. 11 and -6, right?
11 and -6.
And 11 plus -6. 11 times -6, -66. 11 plus -6, that is 5. So we can factorize it as W minus 6 times W plus 11. That's equal to 0. So from here, W equals 6 or W equals -11. And as I see here, W actually denotes the length, right? So it cannot be a negative number. So this answer is rejected, inadmissible. So here W is equal to 6. So I can write here, then W is equal to 6. And how about the length? Length is W plus 5. That's equal to 11. Now, what is the question? We need to find the perimeter. Actually, that's our first step. Now, second step, we should find the perimeter. And what is the perimeter? Perimeter is 2 times length plus width, which is equal to 2 times length equals 11, width equals 6. 11 plus 6 is 17, 2 times 17 is 34. Dot, dot, dot. Perimeter of this rectangle is 34 centimeters. Okay, Daphne, are you there or having rest?
No, I'm here.
Daphne, can you solve the next question?
Okay. Should I read it?
Yeah, read it, explain, and solve it. You have 3 minutes.
Two positive numbers differ by 7 and the sum of their squares is 169. Find the numbers. Two positive numbers. That means one is x and the other one is actually
The other one is x plus 7. Why? Because the difference is 7. If the first number is x, second number should be x plus 7. Okay. Let me, Daphne, you tell me. I will just write what you, right, okay, just you dictate me here. Okay, the first number is, now let's use something different, not x every time using
y.
x. Y. How about a?
Okay.
Usually students, afraid of x and y. But when you use something different, a, second number is a plus 7. Okay, now can you tell me the equation? How do you form the equation here?
And their squares, which is a square plus a square plus 49 equals to 169.
No, Daphne, it's just a plus 7 squared, right? Because the first number is a, second number is a plus 7. In the question, it's saying that the sum of their squares. And
I
what
just
are the,
multiplied, like, I just already summed them, that's why, like.
But a plus 7 squared is equal to what? Can you expand it?
To a square plus 49.
Are you sure?
I forgot the double. Like,
Yeah,
yes.
This one is a plus 7 times a plus 7, right? So that is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared.
That means a square plus
so a squared
14a plus another a square equals to 120.
Okay, now let's simplify this. 2a squared plus 14a, 49 minus 169 minus 120. And all numbers are divisible by 2. We can simplify a bit further because when you're solving equations, you have to simplify as much as possible, right? Then after that, you try to solve it. So here a squared plus 7a minus 60 is equal to 0. Now, can you tell me two numbers whose product is negative 60 and their sum is 7? But here, because the coefficient of a squared is 1, that's why we are using this method to factorize this quadratic equation.
I mean, is there that much numbers? We
Two
can.
numbers, product is negative 60, sum is 7. What is it?
7, 1, but there's not such a number like that.
How about 12 times negative 5? 12 plus negative 5.
Oh, yes.
The first number is 12. The second number is negative 5, right? So here, now we can factorize it as a minus 5, a plus 12. That's equal to 0. Or a equals 5, or a equals negative 12. But immediately in the question, it says that positive numbers, right? So we should just ignore this negative answer that is rejected or inadmissible. So our answer is this. So
A
dot,
equals
dot, dot, and find the numbers. If the first number is 5, second number is 12. Imran is raising his hand. Yes, Imran.
Uh, I can't understand why 12 plus minus 5 or 12 multiplied by minus 5.
Okay, another way is because here, Imran, uh, let me just explain here, Imran, and I'll delete it after that. Here we have 7a minus 60, right? Okay, here we have a squared plus 7a minus 60. Now we have to factorize it and forget about it. Okay, we have to do this. So I'm assuming that here the coefficient of a squared is 1. Okay, now assume that, suppose that, imagine that we can actually factorize this quadratic expression. If we factorize this, let's say a squared plus 7a minus 60. And what factors will it have? We have something like this, right? Something times something. And what are this something? Assume that again, here the first factor is this, x plus p. Second factor is x plus q. Because here it must be x, because here we have a. Oh, sorry. Actually, here we have a, so I need to use a, not x. So here we have a, and here we have a again. Now, if you expand what we have here, on the left-hand side, we have a squared plus 7a minus 60. On the right-hand side, a times a squared, a times q, that is a q, a times p, that is a p, p times q, it is p q. One more time, I can simplify the right-hand side, a squared plus 7a minus 60, that's equal to a squared. Here we have aq, ap. What is the common factor? A. So I can write it as p plus q times a, plus here we have p times q. Now we are just doing some mathematical logic here. Actually, the left-hand side is equal to right-hand side. A squared, they're exactly the same. Here we have a, here we have a, right? If I'm claiming that that thing is exactly the same as this, when these two things are exactly the same, this p plus q, right, must be equal to 7. These are the coefficients of a. Constant number, this p times q must be equal to minus 60. So what is this then? Here we have if p plus q is equal to 7, p times q is equal to minus 60, then I can factorize it as this, right? So actually, if you look at this, what does it mean? It means that two numbers, their sum is 7. Two numbers, the same, those two numbers, their product is negative 60. So if I know these numbers, if you just actually move back, right, in the reverse direction, we will have this expression. And that's why actually when the coefficient of a squared is 1, just we need to find two numbers. If their product is this constant term and their sum is the coefficient of this a, then we can factorize it as a plus p times a plus q. Okay, Imran, did you get some idea, or did you understand it?
No, I can't.
Okay.
That's very hard.
Okay, Imran, then let's get back to you a bit later. I'll show you a bit more question, but later, okay? Maybe you missed that class. I think that's why it's not clear for you. Guys, continue. Okay, Imran, I'll show you more examples later.
Okay.
Maybe I'll show you some different way of doing this one, even if you don't know. In some different we can do this, but we need to know how to solve this quadratic equation by formula at the time. Okay, continue. Okay, guys, after 5 minutes, we will have some break, okay? Maybe 5-minute break or 4-minute break. Let's solve 2 more questions. Now, again, similar question, usually in math on purpose, actually, the writers or mathematicians, they put similar questions. Why is it so? If you want to improve your skill at one thing, you have to practice the same thing again and again, right? Otherwise, every time if you solve your problem and different problems and you get stuck, you may not actually improve yourself. It's like basketball shooting, the same, uh, how to say, the same action, the same shooting. You have to practice again and again and again. You're playing tennis, the same forehand, for example, maybe 100 times, 200 times. Then at one point, you understand, it works like this. And then after that, you can learn much, much faster. And that's why solving the similar questions again and again is this, okay? Once you have, by solving more, Daphne, what we get here, you get more self-confidence, right? And you say that, oh, I can know that now. Okay, after solving 5, 10 questions, similar questions, if you can solve every question without mistake, how do you feel? Now you have more trust yourself, right? You have more self-confidence. You say that, oh, I can do every problem now. That is the most important thing, because when you have self-confidence, then you can learn things much, much faster. A lot of students, they cannot learn. Why? Because they are afraid of learning. They think that, oh, I cannot do that. And if you think that you cannot do that, you are right. You cannot do that, of course, right? But you should be able to say that I can do that. Any problem, I can solve this, right? When you have this actually courage and this, I would say, this kind of motivation, then you will see that you can learn a lot of stuff much, much faster. Anyway, 2 positive numbers differ by 5. Now we know how to do that. So let's say the first number is m, second number should be m plus 5. Okay, if you want, I can just try a different method here. Let's say the first number is m, the second number is m minus 5. Doesn't matter. The sum of the year square is 97. That means that m squared plus m minus 5 squared is equal to 97. Let's expand the left-hand side. Here we have m squared plus, here we have m squared. 2 times m times 5, that's equal to minus 10m plus 5 squared, 25. Take 97 to the left-hand side, minus 97. That's equal to 0. Now let's simplify quickly. M squared plus m squared, that is 2m squared minus 10m. 25 minus 97, that's equal to minus, what is it? 72. That's equal to 0. All numbers are even numbers. We can divide them by 2. M squared minus 5m minus 36 is equal to 0. Now, again, the coefficient of the leading term, actually in math, we call this the leading term, right? Leading term means a variable which has the highest degree. What is the degree of m? There it is 2, m squared. So the coefficient is 1. Now, can you find 2 numbers whose product is negative 36 and their sum is negative 5? Imran, can you answer this question? Forget about this factorization. Can you just tell me 2 numbers whose product is negative 36? That is p times q equals negative 36, and their sum, p plus q, equals negative 5. What are those numbers?
Negative 6 and 6. Oh, no.
No. Immediately, if you want to do this one, you have to factor 36, right? In how many minutes I can write the 36? I can write it as 1 times 36, or 2 times 18, or 4 times 9. It works now here. What is the difference between these 2 numbers? It is 5, right? So here, as I
Yeah.
say, it's negative 5. So I can write it as negative 9 times 4. And negative 5 is negative 9 plus 4. So I can factorize this as m minus 9 times m plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, actually, what am I doing here? You know, I'm just doing this kind of thing, but this is just short way. Here I have m squared minus 5m minus 36 is equal to m squared. This negative 5m, can I just write it as minus 9m plus 4m minus 36? We call this algebraic manipulation. What do I do here? What is minus 9m plus 4m is equal to minus 5m, right? I just write this in some different way. It is called algebraic manipulation. Algebraic manipulation. And soon actually we'll talk about this manipulation, manipulating the variables. I can just add something, I can subtract something, right? I can multiply by 5 and divide by 5. That is very, very simple task, but very important in solving equations, dealing with mathematical problems. So now, how many terms we have here, Imran? We have 4 terms, right? That is the first 2 terms. These are the next 2 terms. Let me just group like this. Here in the first 2 terms, m is a common factor. Here we have m minus 9 plus, and here 4m minus 36. 4 is a common factor. M minus, what is it? 9, which is equal to, now what we have? We have a common factor of m minus 9, right? Take this out, m minus 9, and here we have m plus 4. On the right hand side, we have 0. But actually, this process actually is the same as this process, but this one is much, much faster. But actually the same thing. Okay. So, guys, it is minus 9 and 4. From here, let's just finish this. Let me change the marker color here. We can just write it as m minus 9, m plus 4 is equal to 0. From here, m equals 9 or m equals negative 4. It says that again, positive numbers, so negative 4 is rejected. So what is the answer? 9. Here, dot, dot, dot. If the first number is 9, the second number is 4. Let's just write the answer in ascending order. So the first number is 4, second number is 9. These are the desired results. Okay, Daphne, is it clear? Good. Daphne, Musa, Imran, let's have break 4 minutes, okay? After 4 minutes, we will continue. Let's just drink something, water or tea, okay? 4-minute break. Okay. A piece of wire 44 centimeters long is cut into 2 parts and each part is bent to form a square. If the total area of the 2 squares is 65 centimeters square, find the perimeter of the 2 squares. Musa, can you write on the paper now? Do you have a piece of paper on your table? Defna, how about you?
Yes.
Imran?
Not on paper, but I write on my tablet.
I haven't.
You don't have? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you to solve this and submit it to me. Imran, you think, may I just give you 3 minutes or 4 minutes? Okay. What I want to do here is actually introduce a variable, okay? And just bring this into quadratic equation. You don't have to solve the equation, okay? Just I want to know how do you model this problem, okay? You have 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, we will discuss this. Imran, also you just think, or if you have idea, you can share with us after 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Daphne, could you write the equation?
I really I didn't understand the question since it doesn't make any sense.
Really?
Like it already says that it's 44 centimeter long.
Okay.
I mean, whatever you do, the perimeter will be 44 centimeters.
All right. But we are talking about here two different squares, right?
Yeah.
Musa, how about you?
I can understand too. The total area of two squares it's like uh, the area of first square plus area of second square is 65.
Good. Here the idea is just imagine that you have a small brother or sister, whoever, maybe she's like kindergarten age, 3, 4 years old, and she just brings a piece of wire that is 44 centimeters long. And she asks you, oh, Sister Daphne, can you just make two different squares for me this? And also maybe she's a smart and she says that, okay, actually the sum of the area should be 65. I'm just making up a story here. It is something like this. We are just making a square shaped toys using what we have here, we have a piece of wire here, and the length is 44 centimeters, right? And it says that it's cut into two parts. So let's say I'm cutting from here, okay? From here, I cut into the two parts. That is the first part. This one is the first part, and this one is the second part. Now, each part is bent to form a square. Now the question, what is the length of the first part? Let me just name here from A to B and to C. And what is the length of AB? We don't know, right? So let's say that one is X centimeters. Then what will be the length of the second part, Daphne?
For X, 44 minus X.
44 minus X, right? And using the first piece of wire, that is AB, I'm making a square. Suppose that AB is longer part. So now that is our first square, let's say. And using the second part, I'm making a bit smaller square. Okay, square, we know that all sides are equal, right? All sides are equal. Definitely another question for you. Let's say the side of this square is A, this one is B. What is A in terms of X? Microphone, unmuted first.
X is 4 times A.
So A equals X over 4,
Yes.
right? And how about B? B is actually using this piece of wire. We made the square. So that's equal to 44 minus X over 4. So it says that if the total area of the two squares is 65, let's say the area of this square is A and this one is B. It says that this A plus B, that's equal to 65. And we know how to find the area of the square, right? What is capital A? It is A squared. What is capital B? B squared. B is the length of one side of the square. That's equal to 65. Now, instead of A, I can substitute this X over 4. For B, we can substitute that thing. Now we will have equation in one variable, right, that X. So if we substitute here, then we will have here X over 4 squared plus, and how about B? That is 44 minus X over 4 squared. On the right-hand side, we have 65. What is this? Here we got quadratic equation. So now we have to solve this. We know how to solve this. The first thing is we have to clear the brackets and simplify and reduce this to a standard form. Then actually applying our technique or method that we have already practiced, we can solve this problem. Okay, let's do that. The first one is here we have X squared. As you see here, I have here 16 and also the second fraction 16. I can just write everything under one fraction. But usually when it is long, I can just write like this, right? 1 over 16 is a common factor. Let me just keep it here. 1 over 16 times what we have here. Here, the first one, X squared, and second one, 44 minus X squared. So that is 44 squared minus 2 times 44 times X, that is 88 X plus X squared. On the right-hand side, we have 65. As you see here, this 1 over 16 means the whole denominator, right? Denominator to the whole expression is 16. Because as you know, actually, let me just write here, A over B, we can write it as 1 over B times A, the same thing. So now let's simplify this. Actually, first I multiply both sides by 16 so that we will not have any fraction here. X squared plus X squared, that is 2X squared, and minus 88X plus 44 squared. Now this part, Musa, I'm doing mentally. If I multiply both sides by 16, on the right hand side, we have 65 times 16, right? And after that, in the next step, take the constant to the left hand side. So here we have minus 16 times 65. That is equal to 0. Daphne, can you calculate quickly and tell me the result of these two numbers? What is it?
Which one? 44.
Yeah, 44 squared minus 16 times 65. What is it?
44 square minus.
What is it?
Is 1919.35.
Are you sure? But I got 896.
I'm too.
Let me do that again.
44 squared minus 16 times 65. Musa, did you get 896?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, definitely you need to check one more time. It is 896. So now all numbers are divisible by 2. Let's divide both sides by 2. Here we have x squared minus 44x plus this one is 448. That's equal to 0. Okay, so now how can we factorize this? Actually, again, I can find two numbers whose product is 448 and their sum is negative 44, right? Actually, to do this one again, we have to factor this 448. How? I can just do this here, 448, right? Draw a line, divide by 2, 2, 2, 4, divide by 2, 1, 1, 2, divide by 2, 5, 6, divide by 2, 2, 8, divide by 2, 14, divide by 2, 7, and divide by 7. Okay. Now, among these numbers, how do we actually form, actually, they factor this number so that their product is 448 and their sum is 44. And actually here, this one is plus, right? Here we have negative 44. That means that both numbers should be negative. And how about if I try this one, 28, right? This 2 times 2 times 7, 28. And how about this one? It is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It is 16. So here we have 16 and 2 to 7. That is 28. What is 16 plus 28? That's equal to 44, right? So we can factorize that in this way. That is minus 16 times minus 28. Minus 16 times minus 28. That's equal to 448. And how about 44 minus 16 plus minus 28? So I can factorize it as x minus 16, x minus 28 is equal to 0. From here, x equals 16 or x equals 28, right? So now which one should we pick as an answer? At the beginning, actually, we just assumed that this x is longer than 44 minus x, right? Actually, if x is 16, what will be 44 minus x? It will be 28. Or if it is 28, the second piece will be 16. It gives us the same answer, right? So I can take this 28 as the answer. So here, not this one, here, then x is equal to 28 centimeters, right? And the second one is 44 minus 28, that's equal to 16. What is the question? Find the perimeter of the two squares, right? If the perimeter of the first one is P1, second one is P2, dot, 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 P1 equals 28 centimeters and P2 is equal to 16 centimeters. Okay? Musa, is it clear? Defna?
Yes.
This is a
Yes.
little bit not challenging, but you should understand, and after that, model this by the equation. It is not that much easy question. That's why this question 13. Usually the last 3-4 questions a little bit challenging. Guys, let's solve one more question, okay? And after that, we can have some discussion and finish today's class. The last question. Musa, can you read the question?
A particle is projected from ground level so that its height above the ground after t seconds is given by 20 t minus or minus 5t square m after
Meters, right? That is meters.
meters. After how many seconds is it 15 meters above the ground? Can I explain briefly why there are two possible answers?
So can you explain briefly why there are two possible answers? So again, what is it? It's a question from physics. Again, you're going to see this question again and again and again. Maybe in grade 9, you will see this. Grade 10, you will see this. Even when you go to university, again, you will see a similar question. Why? Because this problem is very, very important problem in physics, right? Because you're just throwing a rock, a piece of rock, right, to the sky, for example. If you just throw this to the, let's say, to the air, right, it just moves up. At first, you're using some force at the beginning. It just moves so fast, right? As it goes up, it gets slower and slower. At some point, it stops. That means that its velocity is 0 now. And after that, what happens? Does it stay there? No, right? And because of the gravitational force, it must actually, it will start moving down, right? So that's what's happening here. It says that a particle is projected from ground level. You're just standing on the ground and you're just throwing something to the sky. Well, let's say a piece of rock or maybe potato or apple maybe. Just throw it, right? So actually it travels a certain distance in the air and it stops. And after that, again, it starts coming back. And you can just hold this or it just drops on the ground. Hello.
Hello.
What happened?
I don't know. You freezed.
Yeah, I didn't understand. The first time it happens to me. Interesting. Anyway, guys, let's finish this. Okay, now after that we'll finish the class. If you have a question, I'll try to answer. Otherwise, we will end the class. So that is all about the problem. Okay, so a particle, and particle means anything, right? Can be some kind of small object or a volleyball, football, small rock, apple, anything. Anyway, doesn't matter here. So I just project from ground. That means I'm using some force, just throw this to the air so that its height above the ground after t seconds is given by. As you see here from here, it's just moving up, right, like this, right? And a certain distance after t seconds, let's say the height, it is a function of t, is given by this equation, 20t minus 5t squared. For example, if t equals 1, actually it gives us how high will it be after 1 second. If you substitute 2, for example, 2 for t, it will give us how high will it be after 2 seconds, okay? So anyway, that is the equation. Now let's answer the question. After how many seconds is it 15 meters? So let's say after 15, after t seconds, it will be 15 meters high. So at the time we have to solve this equation. Now take everything to the right hand side. If we have 5t squared minus 20t plus 15, that's equal to 0. And all these numbers are divisible by 5. Divide both sides of the equation by 5. we get t squared minus 4t plus 3 is equal to 0. Yes, Musa, quickly, can you tell me two numbers whose product is 3 and their sum is negative 4?
What?
Can you tell me two numbers whose product is 3 and their sum is negative 4?
3 and 1.
Negative 1 and negative 3,
Yeah,
right?
-1 and -3.
Negative 1 plus negative 3. So we can factorize it as t minus 1 and t minus 3 is equal to 0. So t equals 1 or t is equal to 3. Okay. Daphne, the last part is for you. What does it say? It says that, can you explain briefly why there are two possible answers? As you see here, we got two answers, right? But the
Yes.
question was, after how many seconds the height of the particle will be 15 meters? But here we have two answers. Why?
Is it because we cannot like furthermore solve it?
No. Musa, do you have any idea why we have two answers here?
I can't understand. Uh, I can't understand. Uh, T for what? For what is T?
Say again. You didn't
T
understand?
T. It's time that rock came to the ground, or what? What's time? It's time for what?
Okay. Imran, how about you? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Why we have two answers here?
Because
Or
we
why
need
there
two
are two cats in
answers.
the picture?
Um,
Okay. Maybe, I don't know, you can feel that maybe you cannot express what you feel here. The question is, let's say, let me just mark this height at 15 meters, okay? That is 15-meter height. If you throw to the, for example, a rock to the air, how many times does it pass this level? Two times, right? One, when it is going up, let's say I just throw this, it's going up. Now it is 50 meters high. Still, it continues moving. And after that, it comes back, right? Just comes back. Again, also, it will be 15 meters above the ground level. How many times? Two times. One, when it is going up. Now the time is passing. It's going up, 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 up. Now velocity 0 stops. And after that, it just comes back to the ground. So that means that we have two answers. After 1 second, it will be 15 meters high. And after that, one more second, it travels. And after 3 seconds, again, when it is coming back, it will be 15 meters above the level ground. So number one, actually, it hits this height twice. One, when it's going up. Second, when it is coming down. And that's why here we have two answers. Okay, Daphne?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Guys, let me just have a look quickly what we have in your, what actually I shared with you. Here we have SAS-MO grade 8. All right. The last time I gave you this A3 as you see, and I don't know how much you did this. It was chapter 3 right now. Is it chapter 3? Yes. So you just keep doing these questions, especially the last parts. All right. I mean, the word problems, try to solve all the word problems. And that much is enough for chapter 3. Okay. So next time we will start chapter 4. Also, it is about algebraic manipulation. And the next chapter will be about algebraic manipulation and formula. And after that, we will continue in this way. Okay. So try to do these questions, guys. I will also send you another test. If you have time, do it and submit it. At least I will see how much you understand, how much you are learning. If you have time, I understand you. You're also busy. You have online class. Uh, I don't know, what can we do? Because in math, the only way to learn math is solving problems. Without solving problems, you cannot learn. Even the whole day, if you listen to me, but if you don't practice, you cannot make any improvement. Okay, Musa, Defna, and Imran, thank you very much. All right, and see you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wednesday. Okay, if you have any questions anytime, feel free to contact me through this WhatsApp. All right, guys, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.
Your laptop screen froze, right?